Hi everyone, it's Milan Zivkovic again, the host of SEEfest's Frontiers Cafe. On today's episode, I had the pleasure of speaking with Jana Belišová and Marek Šulík, Slovakian documentary filmmakers who specialize on Roma and Roma music. The music they recorded with Roma communities is featured in today's episode. To get started, thank you for appearing today. Why don't both of you introduce yourselves? We can start with Jana.
My name is Jana Belišová. I am ethnomusicologist. My specific topic is Roma music and Roma songs. And I make researches in Roma settlements for many years and make some projects with Roma music.
Excellent. And how about you, Marek?
I'm not ethnomusicologist. I'm film director and film editor. I'm working also in cooperation with Jana on her researches, and I'm also publisher. I publish books, small amounts of the books, and I collect old family archives. So I have a lot of interests, but mostly I'm a film editor. This is my main job.
Great. So both of you sound like you have fascinating careers, especially with the breadth of your works. I mean, ethnomusicologist isn't a term we hear too frequently. Jana, how did you find out about ethnomusicology? What got you interested?
It's a long way. It is not my first hope to be ethnomusicologist and collect Roma songs. I wanted to be garden architect or pianist or doctor of animals. Yes.
Oh, yeah, veterinarian.
Yeah, but I studied at last ethnology and musicology, and we went for research from school, and I make researches of Slovak folk songs. But in Slovakia, we have a rich archive of Slovak songs and no Roma songs. So I was fascinated of this tabula rasa and also of big emotions of this music, and I started record Roma songs.
So you saw kind of a gap in musical knowledge and decided to try to fix it. Yeah. And your work, I'm assuming, is doing wonders. And then, Marek, how about you? You're quite a renaissance man, I might say, in terms of all the fields you're in. What was your first interest? Was it directing? Was it writing? And how did you go about from there?
I was born into the family who was a little bit artistic. My father was actor, and my oldest brother is a film director. So it was some kind of the natural path that when you are surrounded with this special artifact, and when you are going to the holiday, you are going to some place where they are shooting film, and my father was playing in that film. So you have this kind of the experience, or it touched me somehow, and I wanted to be cinematographer, or I wanted to be actor when I was small, but also I wanted to be forester, for example, when I was smaller. But finally, after high school, I decided to, because I started make photos, and I like it very much, and I wanted to do something with the image. And because I wear glasses, my older brother told me that it's not good for cinematographer. Go to study documentary film. You can make a cinematography there also, because there is smaller crew and so on. So that was that way. And it's very funny because it's, the documentary and non-fiction cinema, it's not something what people want to do when they are young, because they don't know about it, actually. So it's not like this. I wanted to be film director and study documentary film making, but when I decided and I started to learn something about it and read books and watch movies. I like it very much. And today it's a big part of my life. I'm teaching at the school, actually, at the department of the non-fiction cinema. So I stayed in the field.
That's fascinating. So the interest bloomed once you kind of were in the programs and learning the ropes, so to speak.
But I wanted to say something about Jana, because when she was young, she has grandparents in the small village on east of Slovakia, and there was settlement of the Roma people. So she was in the connection with the Roma music when she was child. No, Jana?
Yes. My childhood is very important for my today career because I had a lot of friends among Roma children, and every vacations, yes, I spent in the village. Žehňa is the name of this village, and I have a lot of friends from this Roma settlement, and it was really another world. In the evening, they sang and they play on guitars, and they have big fires, and yes.
Oh, that's great.
Funny life.
Yeah. How were you growing up next to them until you went to the city for work or school, or are you still in contact with these people?
With some of them, yes. For example, Ilona is old woman from Žehňa, and she's like my family. Yes, I know her from my childhood, and also her daughters and sons, and her big family. And also this women, Ilona, sang for us a lot of nice songs and nice stories.
Of course. Yeah. And Marek, did you want to say something?
Yeah, that this Ilona was a part of the research, and we visited her and her family, and actually she was only one or from very small amount of the people. She told us nice stories, like traditional Roma stories with some magic and so on.
Yeah. Fairy tales.
Fairy tales, yes.
Roma fairy tales.
Roma fairy tales. And it was like nobody is telling these fairy tales in Roma settlements like her. So it was interesting. And this is a connection from Jana's childhood.
Yeah.
That's incredibly fascinating. What was her energy like? Was she kind of the center figure in her family, or was she... I'm just wondering because my family's also from, a bunch of the rural areas. So sometimes there's like this strong matriarchal figure.
Actually, I think she was very modest, like very quite silent, and we have to force her to speak with us and to sing to us on the camera and so on. So it was not like big, strong, and noisy woman who is yelling all the time.
You're just giving me flashbacks to my baba. Oh, but that's great. How did you go about making her comfortable to speak and sing with you?
It's another situation if I went to settlements alone. When I study on university, I went alone, and it is very in time and very little meetings. But when we started bigger researches of Purika Negila was the first one, I created a little group of photographer and some cooperators. And when we went to some new settlement, we need quite a time to explain what we want from them. But the best way maybe is if I have some friend in one community, and if this friend comes with me to another community, it is the best way and the best way to have trust. But I think that trust needs time and friendship and normal communication.
Of course. And did you get this trust? Did you still maintain this trust and have this trust after the filming too? Are these connections you still foster or care for?
I think it's different when you are really going alone in the settlement. It's very intimate contact. But when you are taking the cameras and the microphones into the houses, they are a little bit suspicious what you are doing, and they don't know the structure of the Slovak Academy of Science, and they don't know about researches, and they were curious what we are doing. So, for example, Jana has in the later when they made the next researches, she had some CDs and the books she published with the songs, with the scores and lyrics and so on. So she showed it to them. And this way, they started to somehow simply understand what we are doing, but they were sometimes suspicious. It took to us some time to develop some relationships with them and so on. But it was sometimes funny and nice time. And it depends on the person, because, for example, this Ilona is friend from childhood, so it's different. But when you are going on the places where nobody knows you, the best things to do is to take with you some kind of the guide who is from another village, but they know him, for example, and this guide introduced you. It's best way, because on the other hand, they are looking at you like you are strange. What do you want from us?
Of course, a bit suspicious always.
And of course, with the cameras, because the first Jana's researches were really small. She was recording only sounds.
Mm-hmm.
Then they came up photographers, for example. And then she was thinking that it's a shame that these people are old and these songs, they are dying with the people because they are living in the memory only. And maybe it would be great to capture some kind of the faces and the environment where they are singing, circumstances where it is happening. So this is how I started to be part of the research. And then it's more complicated because then it's another guy with the camera, and of course everybody wants to be on the camera, so it's sometimes hard there. But there is only the best thing is time. You need time to be there and to spend the time with them, and to show them that you have a real interest to listen them. That's good.
Of course, rather than just appropriate them or use their image for your fame. You want to make sure that you're showing them to other audiences. But that's a great, very honest and humble mission. And I very much enjoy hearing all these stories, because with Roma, they're all throughout not only Europe, but also, Middle East, India. So it's important to kind of capture these communities that don't really have a nation, but they have a strong culture. To ask, so Marek and Jana, you said that some of them were excited to be on camera. How did it go to capture the voices that you most wanted to hear versus those that just simply wanted to be recorded?
They want to be on the camera, but not everybody wants to sing. Different.
Yes, maybe we have some predstava. Imagine what we want to record, and
yes, this is true. Sometimes you need to tell them somehow what you are doing and what kind of the music you want, because now they are playing some rom pop. No, Jana, it's like that. And when we were searching for the old music, you need to dig up from their mind. Do you remember what your mother sang when you were small, and so on? And you are trying some kind of these games, memory games, let's say.
Yeah.
And then they know, oh, you are looking for the Purikanegila, for the ancient song, and so on. So they suddenly understand what we are looking for. But somehow you need to tell them, do you know this song? It's a very old song, and so on. You are searching, and sometimes it's not working because sometimes they don't know.
Of course. So it's almost like a memory archaeology in a sense. But that sounds fascinating. And did you find that, asking about their childhood or their parents helped them remember?
No, it was quite a question how to the last project, because there were a lot of projects. There was Jana made a project about Christmas, Roma Christmas music, for example, Roma pop music. And the last big project what we make together, and the result is the movie Heavy Heart, who was screened, on your festival. So in that last project, we were looking for the really old song. We felt like this is last chance to capture them. And together with the songs, we were trying to speak with them about their dreams, their lives, and we were looking for the connection between songs and the everyday life, or not everyday, with the life in general. Is it true, Jana?
Yes, and sometime they have something like life songs of their lives, especially old Roma people like these old lament songs, and they have special one. This song is my songs. It's song of my life, or it is song of my grandmother, and it is song of my uncle. And in their memory, I think these special life songs make memories of concrete story from their life.
It's the way how they build the identity, because it was quite often that it was connected with the mother or father. Mother was singing this particular song. When I sing this song, I'm crying because I'm thinking about my mother, who is dead, and so on. So this was quite often it happened. Yes.
That sounds very powerful, these songs. So there's strong emotions with these memories, and it could be nostalgia, or it could also be grief.
Yes, it's like that. They called it Hallgató. It's from Hungarian, I think.
Yes, name is Hungary. Mm-hmm.
Hungarian. They are slow, very sad Roma songs.
Songs for listening, only for listening.
Yes, not for dancing. But nowadays they are transforming these Hallgatos to the dancing music. So they are singing very sad songs about death and illness and so on. And but the rhythm, yes. Rhythm is quicker, and they are dancing to that.
Sounds like almost like turbo folk. You get very very sad lyrics with very upbeat.
I remember one very young man. He was in some kind of the social institution, some home for the children, because the mother doesn't have power to take care about children, and it was big surprise for us. He has a lot of songs in his head, which he inherited by the mother, because when he was small, he was at home and he was listening the songs. And now when we were shooting, he was maybe, 20 or younger, 18, I don't know. But he was singing a lot of this old song, old Hallgatos, and it was strange because he was very young and he was raised in the institution. But he remembered everything from childhood.
Yes, but he transformed these songs to his special way. No. Music or melody of the songs was little another than traditional songs.
How did he transform it?
I don't know. When he sang these songs are little another have little another melody than pôvodný.
Former, usual.
Yes.
Yeah, because when you are collecting the songs, they are, let's say, kind of the same. They are not the same because we are recording individual interpretation of the song. So, of course, everybody has another kind of the voice and so on. But the basic melody is quite the same. And he probably, because he was not connected with the community, so he moved somehow some kind of the notes different way.
Interesting.
Yes, and these songs have a lot of variants, and singers can change melody, can change lyrics of songs, and change the songs to their life. I think, for example, lyrics of songs change and put in the songs some memories of their life. Yes,
but I think this is the typical, or I don't know if it's definition of the folk songs. They're behaving like owner of the music. They're transforming the songs to like the answer for their life. So when they have the problems with something, they change something in the songs, and it's more connected with their life like the original of the songs where they hear it. So in the books, Jana has many variants of one songs. There are little changes. This is the problem with the Slovak folklore or folk music when we are speaking that like the majority, there was big development, industrial and so on. So these folk songs, they are kind of freezed on some level where when the ethnomusicologists in the past, they recorded and fixed it and so on. And now they are playing and we are singing the folk song, but it's like you know what I mean, like it's fixed state. We are repeating the same song.
Of course, it's static.
It's static, yes. And in their communities, it's very alive. They are transforming till nowadays the music, because the music is very important for them.
Jajde poja Mari Purida Ide Andro d'Itali
The music's alive.
Yeah, it's very alive. And change from interpretation to an interpretation, it's little another.
I was very surprised when we were making this last project about Purikane songs, about ancient Roma songs. So I was surprised that because on the beginning, when Jana was introducing the project, what about this? Let's make this. These people are dying. These songs, maybe we are last of researchers who will record this kind of the songs because younger generation likes another kind of the music. And we were speaking, okay, but how to do it and what we can to learn something more than recording the music. And we were speaking, let's try to research how there works this connection between music and the life. It was on the beginning not so interesting, but when we were starting to record the interviews with the people and they were speaking about the lives, about tragedies and problems in the lives, and then they were speaking songs, it really works. It was really connected, and they really use it somehow like the answer, or they use it like help to survive some kind of the problem in the life. It was interesting.
It's almost therapeutic. or
Yeah.
some almost like spiritual social advice, like that a priest or a rabbi would offer before too, but they do it through music, which that just sounds so incredible. And would they also change the style based on where these camps were? Like, for example, if it was in northern Slovakia, these camps, would they sound different than other Roma communities?
I think that Roma people are they absorb influences from environment, and when they live in the north of Slovakia, they put in their songs some influences from this Slovak folklore, and if they live in the east of Slovakia, so that there are another influences. So in this way, we can say that Roma folklore is little another in these various regions.
Well, on the south of Slovakia, there are a lot of Hungarian people, or minority of the Hungarians, and Roma people. They are very often speaking Hungarian, and they are taking also rhythm and melody from Hungarian. They are speaking in Hungarian language and so on. So yes, there are different location in.
And it is in the south of Slovakia, so south regions of Slovakia, and in the middle of Slovakia there is big influence of Slovak string
folk songs,
instrumental
songs.
Interesting. So it's very I want to say reflective of nearby cultures, but also it changes and becomes almost its own entity. Again, showing how the music's alive, it's reacting, it's not just staying the same. But that's fascinating. And how did, with all of the documentaries and films that you made about the music, how did audiences react to them when you were showing them this authentic footage?
There are many ways how Jana is showing this music to the audience, and the films are product of the last activities, let's say. But before, she was working more in the field, let's say. She was very often, she was taking the singers from the locations, from the settlements to the big festivals in Slovakia, in Czech Republic, but also abroad, because she found some big talents who are good singers, good players on the guitar. They are not educated, but they know how to do it. They just need the manager, and let's say Jana was kind of the ethnographical manager. She was managing this kind of the concert, and then you have to speak about it. It's very nice. It's better than the movies.
Yes, at first we started only on the biggest Slovak festival, Pohoda, and every summer I put on this festival amateur, non-education musicians and singers from various settlements from Slovakia, and they have their stage of Roma folk songs. But from 27th year, we started another project after Purikane, and it was cooperation among Roma non-professional musicians and singers and professional non-Roma non-Roma musicians. And it was, I think, very nice project, and with this very poor Roma people, we invited many countries, many festivals and concerts in all Europe, and it was very, very nice. My favorite singer was Bela Pokuta. He died 7 years ago, and from this time this group after Purikane was kaput.
Kaput.
Stop work, because he has very nice voice, very strong, deep male voice, and he was not leader in the meaning of the of the world leader, but he was kind of the strong character of the music they play.
Charisma, big charisma.
Charisma, let's say. And the festival Pohoda, it's something like Woodstock. It's thousands, 10,000 young people, they are visiting every year this festival. And it's a big thing, not also for the Roma people, but also for the visitors. They like it very much. They have a very nice event. I remember it was maybe 2010 or 15, I don't know. They are welcoming the sun at the morning on the second or third day, I don't know, or maybe every day. It's 3-day or 4-day festival. And they're welcoming the sun, and at the 4 something, the sun is rising, and some singers are singing on the podium. And one time it was these Roma songs. They were singing this Roma Haldato during the sun rising. It was a beautiful experience. So the people from the settlements, they have, thanks to Jana and this activity, they have another experience with the life and with the society, and they suddenly know that people likes their life, their music, and maybe it's small part for the breaking some walls.
But it still sounds like a fascinating and important work, kind of bridging these communities and showing that almost through music, people can reconcile, can be brought together, which I think is a very beautiful theme. How were the other European countries receptive? Did you see differences in, let's say, Western Europe to these musicians compared to Central or Eastern Europe?
We were not working with the Roma people in different countries, but on we had a cooperator from Finland, actually. But of course, we know the situation, and he was working with the Roma people in the Finland. It was very surprising, a big surprise for me that there are living Roma people in Finland. I don't know why it's surprising, but I didn't know it. But we, of course, know something about the situation in other countries with the Roma people, and it's a really a big difference for many reasons. But the truth is that in Slovakia, and especially in the east of Slovakia, there is very bad social situation and segregation for Roma people, and it's I think it's a worse situation in the whole this region. In Poland, it's different. In Slovak, they are on a higher level of social ladder, or how you say it?
Yeah, the class ladder.
Yes. In Hungary, it's different, but in Slovakia, there are really horrible circumstances where they are living. But I think, and Jana, just tell them if it's true, but it looks like when they are really living in the bad situation, they are singing the nicest songs. The best songs we recorded in the horrible settlements. But of course, I wish them to forget the songs and live better life.
Of course.
But this is true, no, Jana? Somehow.
Yes, it is true, but it is also before of their isolation, and in this segregation community, they have more very old songs, because when they influence into majority, they forgot their songs. Also in these segregation communities, songs are something would help them live this poor life,
go through life.
Just coping almost,
and be together.
Well, it's not great. I mean, it's powerful hearing how this music, because it reminds me of when Ottoman occupation in southeastern Europe, like in Bosnia, what today would be Bosnia, Serbia, Macedonia, they had traditional music with the gusla, and that was kind of how they were able to continue their stories and a bit of their culture and share their pain through it. Nowadays, it's also one of those genres that are declining in popularity. People kind of like pop more or rock or kind of contemporary styles. But it's great that you were able to capture these inherited melodies and songs. Which instruments did they play when you were recording, or was it mostly vocals?
Mostly Casio.
A Casio.
Piano.
Yeah.
No, but this is the sign of the, let's say, like it's going more global, that when the CDs were developed and tapes, they're starting to record their songs. There is one village, it's called Pavlovce,
Maybe.
and then there's some singer record a few songs with this rom-pop style, old songs, but in rom-pop styles with the beats, and recorded on this Casio pianos, electric pianos. And they like it very much. So nearly in every village where we were, they were imitating this style, and they were trying to make it precisely like it's called Koro style. The name of the singer.
Or Pavlovce style.
Or Pavlovce style, yes. So this was sad for us, that they are losing this originality, and but they like it. What can you do? So the way was, the only one way was, you are looking for the people who are owners of the guitar or accordion, because they don't have money for the buying electric piano.
Of course.
Or we were taking accordion with us, I think, or guitar. No, Jana?
Guitar.
Few times.
Yes, I think that it is also some evolution in this. The old group of instruments were strings instruments, first violin, second violin, contrabass, sometime cymbal.
Oh, the cymbals, yeah, drums.
No, cymbal.
Harpsichord, something like folk harpsichord, but we are not playing with the keyboards, but with the sticks.
Yeah, and sometimes also accordion or saxophone. And middle level of instruments is acoustic guitar. I think that it is also influence of Spanish gypsies, but also it is time of hippie style. And I think that it is this influence is also on Roma songs, and this is style of folk songs and with acoustic guitar. And now is era of e.g. rom-pop.
Casio era.
It is Casio and influences of popular music, and they like it very much.
But the thing is, when you are playing on the guitar, or when they are playing on the guitar, they are changing the rhythm, making it slower or quicker, anything. But when you are setting up the drums on the Casio, it's like a toop, toop. So it's the same. Yeah. It's not so creative.
The drum machine's
so sensitive. Yes.
Very limited. That's fascinating, because I also know from my limited experience with Roma music about Django Reinhardt, who I believe he was a French Roma. And I'm wondering, was there a lot of influence with his guitar playing with them, or is it more kind of the hippie culture with the guitar playing?
I think when we are speaking about like folk songs, it's a really different genre. But we found, and in the movie Heavy Heart, is one family where father was playing, and he likes very much this kind of the playing on the guitar, and he was really very good in that. But he learned it, I think, abroad, because after the revolution they started to travel for a job, because for them it's easier to find a job in UK or in another countries than in Slovakia, so they are traveling for the work. And then he learned it from abroad, because it's not, they are not listening this Django Reinhardt style at home.
You think that he learned play for guitar abroad?
Where he listened it?
No.
And where he listened?
CDs and internet. I know more musicians and they play similar style on guitar, like Django Reinhardt. I think that they don't know that it is influence of Django Reinhardt, but
it's there.
Yes, this influence is. I think that yes.
I love hearing how the music just is so. It's like air; it just swirls around everywhere, picking up who knows what, and it creates a beautiful kind of symphony, mixtures of all cultures.
There are recordings from the 60s in Slovak ethnographical, I don't know, archive or what is it, and they are playing with the spoons only, and it's beautiful music.
Wow.
They're singing and playing with the two spoons. It's like rhythm.
But they are Olak gypsy, black gypsy. It's a
different branch.
Different group of Roma.
Who says you need a full band to make music? But isn't that the amazing part? Music comes first from humans, and then we make it into something else depending on the instruments. Oh, this is all so fascinating. And would you both mind telling me some of the current projects you are working on?
Right now, I do on project Angrusori. It's mean ring, and it is cooperation among Norwegian alternative musicians, kitchen orchestra from Stavanger, and some Roma musicians, amateur, non-education musicians from Slovakia, and Czech musician Iva Bitová. And we prepare tour in May in Slovakia, in August in Norwegian, and in November we are invited to London and maybe to Sheffield with this group, Angrusori.
That sounds great. I'm just imagining some bands I listen to are from Sheffield. Very different style of Britpop, but I'd love to just see that travel. And it's incredible that you're finding these platforms for these musicians. Has the international collaboration kind of helped expand your work, especially with the Norwegians?
But I think Jana is alone in Slovakia, and there is no cooperation between, like, the scientists. You are part of the conferences, you are going...
Yeah, only on conferences or this Kai Aberg, it's our friend research from Finland, or it's sometimes it is concrete collaboration, but not on institutional level.
Interesting. So it's more almost freelance, improvised, like the music in a sense. But that's also great. How about you, Marek? What are you working on currently?
I'm editing a movie about anonymous alcoholics.
Oh, yes. I remember we were talking about that. And how goes that editing?
I started to drink.
Oh.
No, I like it. They are because these filmmakers who are making this film, they were involved in this group, and they allowed them to listen to the stories. So it's not easy to do it because it's anonymous and they don't want to show the faces and so on. But anyway, they are speaking about this problem with the alcohols and their lives, and it's very interesting because it's so connected with the childhood. And when they are speaking about childhood, the stories are different, but the base is the same. In general, when I say it, they are saying there was no love in our families. It's really strange.
Interesting.
It's the same. So I'm editing this movie, and also Jana is currently working on the web archives. So we are together updating this website. Where are the songs, MP3 files, so the viewer, the listener could listen the Roma music, and we also want to put there the videos. And when we were making films or DVDs, it was only excerpts from the whole research, the best things, most important things, and so on. And now we are going through the footage and trying to pick all what is good and useful, because for the memory and for the history, it's important to keep it. Mm-hmm. These different shapes of the Roma music. So we are working also together, but also we are working on different projects also. So it's like a parallel activity now. It's not the most important.
Well, that's great. And what is the archive's name?
It's under the site. Yeah, I told you the name. It's important. It's now it's not quite visible because it's under the Jana has NGO organization. It's called Žudro. It's ethnographical, some kind of the world. I don't know what does it mean. Some kind of the architectural things. It's Žudro. But under this site, there will be the click or web link on the archives. So now it's a little bit hidden, but it will be open for the public.
It's in progress. Yeah.
It's uploading.
It's okay. Everything's in progress if you think about it. But but that's incredible. So you're because I also am very active in wanting to expand archives and all the materials. I think they're greatly overlooked and everybody kind of prefers edited content these days. But I very much like, just giving them raw. I'm like, here's life. It's flaws and perfections and everything in between.
Yeah, people can listen to it and dance. There are a few of them with the subtitles. You can sing with the Roma people, with the Roma subtitles. You can make a karaoke.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. I mean, I'll go to Koreatown in Los Angeles to have them cue up Roma music. Actually, I would do that just because I enjoy especially showing people music they normally don't hear. That's why Roma is fun. And I show Afrobeat sometimes to some friends. They're like, oh, I'm starting to listen to jazz. And I'm like, well, here's a very particular form of jazz. But that's all sounds so fascinating. What are your hopes for this year in terms of your current projects?
In general?
Yeah, in general.
Jana, what is your project you are working on?
So my projects, what we said, we have big tour, concert tour with Angrosari in Slovakia in May, and in July in Norway, and in November in England. So it's a lot of work. And I also teach on university ethnomusicology, and also I make on this digital archive.
And you are not going to the settlements to watch the people?
No. Many people want go with me. But I need some project, some money and some idea for going to settlement. Sometime I go to my friend families, for example, Marcela and Josef Dreveniak from Bardejov. They also play in this project Angrosari, and we are in contact every day, every week. And when sometime I go to east of Slovakia and I visit them. But I have no projects, no research project
so far. Yeah,
maybe.
That still sounds good. So you still have some ties to the community, and it's limited but still there.
Yeah, but it's also connected with this digital archive, because Jana collected a lot of stuff in the past. She was recording on the beginning on the mini disc. Yes, it was mini disc. Then she bought something what was recording like the wave files, and then we recorded this video. And when I'm editing things for her, it's from the 2009. It's 13 years ago. It's quite past, and we are digging. It's from 2009. This first project.
But I have also some recordings from 1995. Yes.
This is what I told that you was recording on this.
Yes.
Mini disc.
Not mini disc. On cassettes.
On the tape.
My first recordings are on cassettes, and I make digitalization.
Last year, yes, and we would like to dig it, and Jana would like to make some kind of catalog and these archives, which is some kind of the system, and you can search there. And this is a lot of work that I wanted to say. So we are. I'm editing different kind of the movies now and shooting different kind of the topics, but I'm connected with this through this archive project, so I'm returning to it.
I think that it is about 3,000 items.
Wow.
A lot of.
You have your work cut out for you. It's good. But also it sounds so, I don't know, fulfilling for me. That's excellent. And how about you, Marek? What are your hopes for this year?
I don't know where to start. Actually, I'm doing quite big documentary about our president, and it will be finished after 2 years. So I'm trying to follow her during her duty, like she's working and speaking and thinking and dealing with the situation in our country. So I'm doing this nearly every day.
Wow.
But besides that, I'm teaching and editing another movies.
Oh, that's fascinating. Both of you, thank you so much. Is there anything you would like to say before we stop recording?
I would like just say that Jana has to send you the music files. It's important, I think, and it's important because there is a lot of field recordings. They are nice and they differ with the quality of the singing, quality of the recording and so on. But then she has a lot of friends between the musicians in Slovakia, which are very open for some kind of the experimenting with the music. And my first contact with Jana's works was that the Slovak violoncellist, or Slovak cellist, Jozef Lupták, he took one of the songs recorded in the field, and he was playing it from some kind of the cassette player or something, and he was playing on the cello. And he make a new kind of the music, not new kind, but it was the field recording and his play, and it was beautiful. I was touched by that. And Jana has a lot of recordings. There is this mixture of the native Roma people and this professional who were very open for the cooperation. So that's I wanted to just say. She needs to send the music.
Well, I'm always open to hearing any style of music, especially Roma, because, growing up, a lot of the folk songs we heard were Roma songs too, that were just kind of translated into Serbo-Croatian. And then, Jana, anything you would like to say before we end?
I don't know. We have a lot of nice zážitkov.
Experience.
No, for example, this Bela Pokuta. When we recorded CD after Purikane in the church of one village of Slovakia, some girls were in this church and they listened.
Yes, they listened to him to sing.
Yes, and when we finished, they go to Bela and they said, "You are genius. Your voice is like bell, big bell." And it's really nature talent, and so and they give us big chocolate.
This is what you want to say at the end.
Yes,
you got it.
Bela was king. Also in Belgium, after concert, we
were looking for.
We're looking for Bela Pokuta because we need to go out from this building and close it. And Bela was not here. And we found him on the street with a couple of young girls. And girls put him some cigarettes and beer. And Bela sang songs. And they were fascinated of his voice.
Sounds like quite the individual, big personality, I'm assuming.
No, actually, he has a problem with the alcohol, and he was very silent all the time, actually. But when he has possibility to sing, and when he met somebody who was interested in the singing, he starts.
Interesting. That's when he opens up and.
Yeah, for the cigarettes, chocolate, and beer.
I think that goes for the same for a lot of us. That trinity. Both of you, thank you so much again for coming to talk. I very much enjoyed this conversation, and I learned so much about not only about your works, but also about just Roma music and the power of music that it has to, it penetrates every border, every community. It's free. And it's great that you both were able to capture it.
Thank you for invitation.
Of course.
Sorry for my English.
Oh, no, perfectly fine. Both of you did excellent, and thank you so much again. And thus concludes this week's episode of SEEfest Frontiers Cafe. I'm your host, Milan Zivkovic, and thank you again for tuning in.
Goodbye,